Here's the thing with natural gameplay, right? And I'm trying to rework from the ground up. Let's rework from the ground up. Let's find natural gameplay, natural solutions to how Melee should be played from an input perspective, right? So I'm throwing out everything that people say about Melee, every single cliche or platonic statement that's mostly useless. Let's throw that out the window. It's all output. Even if it's right, it's entirely output and it's irrelevant. You don't control an output, right? So it's all irrelevant. So what can you do in Melee, right? That's the fundamental question. What can you do in naturally? That's the fundamental question. So if you don't know what natural is, let me define it, redefine it. Basically, it has to be completely recreatable, right? It has to be completely recreatable, completely tangible. It has to be in your complete realm of control, because that way you can do it under any circumstance. If you can do it under any circumstance, then it's natural. And I think that's because only what has been done can be done, right? Only what's happened can happen. That's the law. It's a law of time. It's a law of the universe. So apply that to Melee, and then think about it. So okay, so you can only do what you can do. So pick things that you can actually do. Do things you can actually do. Get your gameplay based on feel and hyper intelligent. Both based on feel and very intelligent. That's what we're gonna do. We're doing it right now. I think I'm at 14, 17. I got it. Good helmet. So, what is natural? What's the most natural thing in Melee? And this is actually, Adam, because I know I watch you play a lot, and feel free to ignore everything I say about your gameplay, because I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. And that's fine. I see you do a lot of Nair Shines, and a lot of them don't work. You do a lot of them on Samus, and they don't work, right? And I do it too. I play Falco. I do it too. Holy shit, there's a big spider right next to me. So this is the thing about opportunity. I don't know if you see my vlog. This is the thing about opportunity. It's not recreatable. Natural gameplay means it's recreatable. You cannot recreate the results of a opportunity, because that's why it's an opportunity, right? So you can't. So it's not recreatable. So every time you go for a Nair, it's an opportunity to practice it. It's an opportunity to punish the opponent. It's an opportunity to succeed, right? So that needs to go out the window. That needs to go out the window. And this is what I mean. It's literally reworking every aspect of your gameplay is now being reworked, because everything you're doing suddenly has to be defined by what's natural and what's not natural, right? So what can you do? What can you do in Melee? This Nair Shine that you don't feel 100% confident in doing, you can't do it anymore. In neutral game, it doesn't work. You throw it out. Completely throw it out. Because it's not recreatable, right? The circumstances are not recreatable. Nice dash. And I gotta use 2 dashes. Nice. But what can you do in Melee? And this is interesting. This is the interesting part of Melee. If you read an opponent and they do an action, you get a guaranteed punish. You get a natural punish on them, right? You get a natural punish on them, and this is a part of practice. Practice the game, and find out what are the optimal natural punishes you can get on opponents. How, when, and where. This is what practice is. This is what playing the game with your friends for 3 hours a weekend is. This is what it is. This is a completely natural process based on input. Those Nair Shines, if you are completely comfortable doing a Nair Shine on an opponent and it works, do it, right? Because that's natural. That's your natural gameplay, so just do it. Problem solved. If you're not completely comfortable with it, you can't do it though, because suddenly it's not natural. If you're not completely confident doing something, it's not natural, so you don't do it. But then this is what practice is. This is what practice and playing against opponents is for. Nair Shine's not well, what can I do then? What can I do? Yeah. This is why I'm reworking your brain. This is why I'm reworking your brain, because the thing is, you're gonna go into a game and you're gonna naturally do these Nair Shines, because every time you do a Nair Shine, it's an opportunity to succeed. It's an opportunity to figure out whether it works or not, right? But natural gameplay says opportunity is bad. It's not recreatable. You cannot recreate opportunity. It's impossible. It's a paradox. And if you think about that a little bit, well, it makes a lot of sense. Fundamentally, if your gameplay is worse than an opponent and you lose, that's a good thing. It's actually a good thing. You're supposed to lose if you have worse gameplay. So if you cannot figure out how to get to do anything in the game because you can't narrow shine the opponent, or or whatever, it depends on the player, then you lose a game, and that's a good thing. You should supposed to lose here. So I'm saying, don't force yourself to camp ever. Don't force yourself to not narrow shine ever. Don't force yourself to do anything. And this is what's interesting to me, because this is the minimum of what I've learned. This is because I play it once a week at best, so I barely learn anything. But I learned that, well, you have guaranteed natural punishes, natural movements if you can bait out something from an opponent, right? So now here's the goal, though. Here's the difference. Every time we, low level players, I'm changing. I can't say we very much anymore. I still do it, but I'm changing. Every time we bait, actually, you'll see top players do this too. They try to force the reads. They try to force a read. They say, okay, this is my opportunity to get a read, and they force the read, right? That's not natural. But if you can learn an opponent's movements, you can naturally bait out a read, and then get real natural punishes on it, right? So now what becomes elements? What becomes elements of gameplay? What are real natural elements of gameplay? Learning of habits, picking up on habits, targeting habits, cloaking your habits, cloaking your reading of their habits. This all becomes elements of gameplay that we've never considered before. These are all suddenly aspects of gameplay. So basically, you can't go into a game and not learn this stuff. You learn in every single game you play, you learn this stuff. Because it's an element of gameplay. Or before, it was not an element of gameplay. It's the same in Link to the Past right now. I've been playing this game for 4 years, and I never considered anxiety was a thing. I never considered it. Of course it's a thing. Of course I know that. You tell a noob that, they're like, oh yeah, okay, I know that. No, they're idiots, right? Suddenly I realize it's a thing. Every single run I do, anxiety's in the back of my head. I'm like, it's actually the front of my head. And I'm wondering, huh? Okay, so that's why I messed this room up. I'm anxious. Okay, so I need to find a natural solution to this room when anxiety hits, right? Do you see that room? Do you see that perfection right there? I was not able to do that a week ago. I was not able to do that a month ago. Actually, about a week ago I could. But a month ago I couldn't. Because I was under anxiety and I was not able to do a complex sequence of inputs under that level of anxiety. But then I found out natural ways to do that consistently under pressure. Huh. It only took a week to learn this stuff. It only took a week to learn it. It took 4 years to realize it was a thing. Well, it's the same in Melee, right? How long is it going to take to realize that reading an opponent's movements and cloaking your own movements is an actual concrete aspect of the game? How long is that going to take? Because when your brain realizes that, it's on autopilot. Learning becomes autopilot. It becomes a natural process. I might start grabbing that pot, I'm not sure. Hammer's better, but it's much harder. And the reason, again, it's easy. The reason why is reading an opponent's movement, because I mean, I forgot. I honestly forgot just now. Why is reading an opponent's movement an aspect of Melee? Because it's something you can guarantee you can do. It's something you can do on a guaranteed level, naturally. No matter what. So I'm saying, what can I do to beat Kyle? What can I do to beat Sam? I need to beat them naturally. I can't camp versus Sam. Here's the thing. This is the thing that 99 to 100% of players are missing. If I beat Sam, if I beat Kyle, it's irrelevant. It does not matter in the long run. I'm not a better player because I beat them. I don't learn anything, and it yields no rewards. So it's absolutely irrelevant. So I actually need to become a better player than them. I need to become a better player than them in order to beat them. Because if I become a better player, I can naturally beat them, and I'm a better player. This is actually a real, tangible, long-term goal. So beating Kyle is irrelevant. So if I edge out a win against Quins, if I camp him for 4 minutes or 6 minutes straight, and I edge out a win against Quins, I gain absolutely nothing from this. It's absolutely irrelevant. So camping Quins is off the table because I don't want to camp him, and I don't need to. So it's completely off the table, and I don't want to camp him. If you want to camp Quins, like, power to you, but I don't think so, right? So that's off the table. But how can I beat Quins, right? Okay, so Nair shining him and getting the perfect toggle combo. I can't do that naturally. So, like, throw that out the window. Well, and this is something I picked up against Quins, and I picked it up against This is something I picked up against some Dr. Mario Kid. Or is it Nikhil? This is something I picked up against Quinns. If you nair him, he's going to B. He's gonna B. So this is the lowest level read you can get, right? So if I nair him and then shield, he's gonna B, and I'm gonna get a natural punish. That's something I can easily do. I can easily recreate. It's not a problem. This is good. And here's another thing. What's another thing that you can naturally do? You can recreate consistently. It's completely in your realm of control. You cannot commit. You know, if you don't commit to an opponent, you're not punished in melee, right? It's neutral game. It becomes neutral. So that's something you can always do, right? So that needs to be explored more. I think that needs to be explored more. I haven't explored it very much, but that needs to be explored more. I mean, how many different ways can I improve in melee by just playing it net play? If I just play net play for 50 hours casually without thinking, how drastically could I improve in melee? I mean, think about it. Suddenly I can improve dramatically in melee. There's all these things about the game I just never realized were real things, real tangible things. You know? What? Wait a minute, but I don't play it, so I don't learn these things. But I'm coming up with new ideas every week, because the thing is, it goes deeper than just low-level character versus character or player versus player interactions, right? The low-level interactions, like who cares? Who gives a shit? Let's think of the big interactions. Let's think of big stuff, because let's say you. This is what's interesting, and this is why when Kyle read me, I realized I picked up on his habits, right? And I started reading him, calling his habits out, and actually punishing him for it. And I was like, okay, I have the natural win here. I'm a better player than him based on the end result. I have the natural win here. I win. It's my victory, right? But he actually adapted. He adapted and then started punishing me for that. And he beat me. He beat me naturally. He naturally beat me. I was like, damn, dude. This is why I think he's a better player than me. But think about everything I've said, though. Think about it. How does this apply to top players? How does everything I said apply to top players? Applies to Armada. Armada never camps anybody. Applies to Mango. Mango doesn't camp anybody. Which top player camps players? Hungrybox? Sort of. He technically does camp. Oh my god. Hungrybox does camp players, right? It's a specific matchup. It's against specific players, and you know he doesn't even consistently win with it. I think it's a very specific thing. So there's one interaction in the history of Melee. In the history of Melee where hard camping an opponent is a relevant thing. This is, you can read this off. But how does everything else apply to top level Melee? Well, actually it applies perfectly. If you look at the numbers, look at the facts, this applies perfectly. Everything I'm saying applies perfectly. But it has to apply perfectly because everything I'm saying is based on concrete logic. There's no non-logic here, right? So it's like, well, of course it applies perfectly. It's obvious. But the problem is you have to actually play the game a lot and put in the work and actually think about the game and create these ideas, create the gameplay identities, and then you have to be right. You have to be right about it because if you're right about it, then you'll win. You'll win naturally, no issue, no effort. Look at this. Mango wins that tournament 2 years ago versus M2K. He played Falco, Eclipse or whatever. He wins it completely naturally. He's like, I don't even care. It was like a second nature. Every top player, you know, Armada beats M2K again. Nice, good win. Okay, he's not even thrilled. Who's winning the tournaments? They're not thrilled. They're not excited. They're not jumping on their seat, right? They're like, okay, great. Hungrybox wins the tournament 1 out of 10 tournaments, and he's like jumping on his seat, right? Well, he won the tournament, but who's consistently winning the tournaments? He's consistently winning the sets, you know. If you beat Giggle Boy, you don't. It's a completely natural process. It's a completely natural process. So what I'm saying is, embrace the natural process, learn the natural process, and then tune the natural process up so much so that you can naturally beat Steven. Because, and people will laugh at you. If you say that, people will laugh at you. They're like, no, you can't. Haha, you're not that good. Well, why can S2J naturally beat Steven, but you can't? Why not? I don't know where am I going. That split just died. That's fine. That is fine though. And there's more. I forgot. There was one thing about how to play. I learned how to play Melee. I'm learning how to play Melee. I just forgot. If I play Melee one more time, or like realistically like 10 more times, I think I'll remember. But I just forgot it. It's something to do with baiting opponents and like reading opponents, baiting opponents, picking up on opponents' habits. This is far more important than we realize. And we're doing it wrong. We're doing it wrong because I know, Adam, you try to do that, but the problem is you force it. And here's the thing about it. If you pick up on an opponent's habits, they'll change their habits. So now you have to pick up on their changes too. You have to pick up on their habit, and then you have to pick up on the change in the habit instantly. And then you have to punish it, and then you have to pick up that they're going to change their change. They're going to change the change, right? And then you have to learn a way to punish all these changes, right? You have to learn a way and then combo strings. You have to learn combo strings for all this stuff. And then it goes even deeper because... And this sounds too complicated, and I think it is. But a lot of this does happen naturally. See, I don't think you have to predict the change. I don't think you predict the change because if you predict the change, it's not natural. It's not recreatable. If you predict the change, it's not actually a recreatable thing. You cannot recreate these circumstances because it's a guess. It's a hard guess, right? And if you fail it, if you miss it, you fail. I'm saying you actually completely pick up on the change so that you can naturally punish them. It's like against noobs. It's like against the noob rule, the noob tech. I'm 100% confident the noob tech will work against noobs. I'm 100% confident. I always go for it, and it always works. So now I need to figure out ways to do that versus Quince. I have to figure out ways to do that against you because bottom line, you do it. Every single player has guaranteed habits that you can expose, easily expose. And I think I was watching Shiz play. He holds back on a lot of stuff. His combo trees are smart, and he holds back on a lot of stuff because the nature of melee. The nature of melee, if you play melee a lot, if you fail something, you're not actually punished for it, right? So if you fail something, you're not actually punished for it. So if you fail something, what's the best thing you can do? The best thing you can do if you fail something is extend the setup. But this is an output. This is not an input. It's an output. It's what happens when the game makes sense to you. Oh, that works somehow. I don't know. Hey, that's cool. This is a natural solution to a mistake. If I'm ever in that mistake, there's a natural solution. Okay, that works. It's guaranteed, and I don't die. The run doesn't end. It's a guaranteed natural solution, right? That might pay me off on PvPace. The thing about winning in any game is it's irrelevant. If you win or if you lose, it's a complete output that's not in your control. So if you design gameplay that's guaranteed to win, you'll lose. Because it's a logical error, right? Doesn't make it. It's not possible. It's not possible to design gameplay that will guarantee to win, and then consistently get that output. You actually you cannot only win. You can't only win. It's not a possible thing. 0 people in the history of anything have done it. So how is it a possible thing? People have perfect records. That's not the same though. It's different. But you can have a really god tier record if you have very good gameplay. If you have very good gameplay and you're way above everyone else, you'll just never lose to them. So how can we do that? It has to be through input. It has to be through reason. It has to be through logic. It has to be through what actually makes sense, what actually works, what's actually naturally happening. Right? It has to be through how the game's actually played, completely naturally, your own element. And then do what makes sense. And then if you guess right, you'll win naturally. Problem solved. So that's interesting because if changing your habits based on an opponent, or if reacting to you making an error is a output, if you don't control it, that's completely output. That's interesting because it means that the goal isn't to force yourself to react to an opponent. It means the goal is to think about the game and then realize that in Melee, there's no positive or negative. Like these ideas of positive and negative don't really exist. So if you miss an L cancel, it's not a bad thing necessarily. It's a Nuki. If you miss an L cancel, it's not actually a bad thing. It's not suboptimal. It's not a bad thing. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. It's an element of the game. Right? That's what's so what's optimal is doing inputs. What's optimal is doing exactly what you think you can do. Exactly what you're confident doing. If you're not confident in doing anything, you lose. Okay, you lose. That's fine. Your gameplay's not as good as the opponent. You lose. Problem solved. Usually in losses like that, you think about it, and you're like, you know what? I can at least dash in. That's a development. No, that's good. This is how to actually improve it melee, I think. So what this means is if missing an L cancel, if you do anything and are quote punished for it, and it's not a bad thing. This isn't a bad thing. So what's an aspect, element of gameplay that we're not thinking about? You know, I don't know. I can't tell you. I have no idea. And the thing about gimmicks is, you know, I say stay away from gimmicks. I say gimmicks just flat out don't exist. They don't work. Throw them out. Throw them into the garbage can. Well, does this sound like a gimmick? Does anybody out there actually think this is a gimmick? Because I'm arguing to play and practice the game, think about the game, learn the game. Learn the game for what it is, not for what you think it is. That's what I'm arguing for. And that's entirely what I'm arguing for. I have no other arguments. It's the same in Link to the Past. What is my argument in Link to the Past? What can a player do? What does a player feel confident that they can do? Right? What is a player confident they feel that they can do? What actually matters? What is reset? Is resetting good or bad? I mean, this is entirely what I'm arguing for. I'm arguing that every single player who plays Link to the Past should do no reset runs. Should blindly do no reset runs and make no attempt. Make no attempt to force anything. Don't make any attempt to try. Don't make any attempt to force a win. No gold splits. None of that stuff matters. Throw it out the window. Yeah, never compromise. I get the joke, but if that's true, that's true, do I do mobile gaming? No, I don't. I used to play Farmville, but I stopped in 2007 or whenever people played it. I thought you were trolling me, dude. Honestly, I thought you were trolling me. And I realized I said Farmville. I think this is gold pace. I honestly think this is gold pace. I have no idea because I haven't been looking at the timer. Okay, it's like borderline gold pace. It's borderline gold pace. I'll skip the. Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know. Maybe you will though. Maybe you will one day. You will one day. No, I hear you, dude. I hear you. Come on, dude. Okay, that was so. I wasn't looking. But no. Here's why. Why did I fail that? It was actually because of anxiety. That's the real reason I failed that. It's gold anxiety. Now this is a gameplay element. How can I fix that? How can I change that? How can I fix that? How does that factor into my solution to the game? You know? I actually improved because I did that. I'm a better player. Why do I hate the Link to the Past me so much? They don't practice, they don't play the game, and they just talk about the game a lot, and they don't like people that do play the game. Doesn't make any sense. It's completely at odds with playing the game. Nice. This could be gold, but I don't know. I don't think it can be gold, guys. 587? No, it can't be. I just skipped the arrows in the bomb for no reason. I don't know. I'm greedy. See, but this is what I'm arguing for. Dude, literally just play naturally. Literally just play naturally, no issue. You know. You just gotta think. What matters here is thinking. It's not doing well. Results are literally relevant. Oh, come on, dude. Here's why results are relevant. Because if you don't control the circumstances to get a result, it's not natural, right? So you can't control it. It becomes an opportunity. It doesn't become a natural element of the game. It doesn't become a natural element of the game. It becomes an opportunity, right? Well, opportunities are natural, so you have to scrap opportunities. So, and this is interesting because you actually do control certain results. For example, if you're playing against someone really bad in Melee that you're much better than, you actually do determine the outcome of the match. You're in complete control of the whole match. You determine if you win, you determine if you lose, right? Within reason. But the reason is naturally. It's the results determined up to you naturally, right? If I wanted to get a 138 this run, I could determine if I get a 138 or not. It's completely up to me. So if you do determine the results, then that's the goal. That's the goal. Great. If you don't determine the results, do you guys see what I'm saying? If you don't determine the results, they're irrelevant. They're completely irrelevant. They have no bearing. They have no bearing on anything because you can't control it. The goal is to be so much better that you can control it. So if you get a result and you don't control the results, then it doesn't matter what the result was. The goal, you just keep playing, keep trying to make your gameplay more natural. If opportunity is a bad thing, then it means that beating anybody, next time you play Quins or Nikhil, whoever you're losing to, because I know in your brain that's how you see it as an opportunity to beat them. I'm literally saying what my argument is. You know, I don't know. I don't play Melee a lot. I don't know. You're better player than me in Melee. I don't know, but what my argument says is that if you don't feel like you can beat them 100%, don't force it. Accept the loss. That's what my argument says. It means accept the loss. Accept the loss. Move on. Because you don't control the results. What do you gain if you beat Quince? Are you a better player? No. You can't be a better player based on results. It's not possible. What's Mirror Shield Challenge? It's just an MGRTA where you get the Mirror Shield. It's actually a lot of fun, and honestly, I think it's a really good idea because it teaches this game fundamentally super well. It's not. I'm not asking you. I'm just saying. I'm asking you. I'm saying you have to ask yourself that, because here's the reality. You're gonna play somebody out of state, and that's what matters, right? You're gonna have to ask yourself that question out of state. You're gonna lose 2 games to Quins, and then in a row, maybe you're like not trying or something. It doesn't matter. And then this question's gonna come up, and that's what I'm saying. If you keep playing Melee, you know, even if you pick up any game really or any sport, you're gonna have to ask yourself that question at some point. I'm saying the more you ask yourself that question and the more honest you are with your answers, the closer you are to finding natural gameplay solutions, you know? Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna say, huh, you know what, I'm actually not, and I mean, I'll use myself as an example. I don't like telling people about things about themselves, but I'll use myself as an example, you know? I'm not 100% confident I can beat Sam Bacon. Not 100%. In fact, I'm like, what, 40% confident? So I'm not gonna use this run, I'm not gonna use this game as an opportunity to beat him. In fact, I'm not going to use it as an opportunity to learn here because, again, I don't believe in opportunity. So, what am I going to do? You know, just going to play naturally, play normally, and I'll make my best effort. Because honestly, I think I can beat him. I'll make my best effort. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll learn something along the way. Maybe I'll figure out what makes him tick, and I can beat him. If I do, though, it's irrelevant. If I beat him, it's irrelevant. If I lose to him, it's irrelevant. If I beat him, it's irrelevant. So it doesn't matter. That's the argument. It does not matter. If you beat Quins, it doesn't matter. It's completely arbitrary. Even if it's not Quins, what if you go up a notch, you know? Who have you been losing to in tournament? It can be anyone. Pick that person. If you force yourself to beat them, if you force yourself to try hard to beat them, it's arbitrary. It's an arbitrary result. You don't actually become a better player. You can't become a better player based on results. It's not possible. It's not how gameplay. It's not how skill works. But everyone thinks it's how skill works, and everybody's using results to try and determine them to become a better player. Well, you can't determine. That's the problem. They're trying to use results to determine whether they're a better player or not. So people build gameplay habits. They build gameplay, and they build gameplay habits. I have no bomb. We're doing a bit of a route change. I don't know why that doesn't work. Oh, it's because of the fairy. So people build gameplay and gameplay habits that are designed to give them a result so that they can use the results to determine whether they're good or not, right? That's what ego-based gameplay is. Output-based gameplay, ego theory, ego-based gameplay. That's what the problem, natural gameplay, that's what the problem is. Okay, I think getting hit by that's a frame rule. And it like depends on certain situation. Yeah. Where I'm saying forcing yourself to try hard isn't. It's not. It's actually. It doesn't do anything. It's irrelevant. You got to find a way to naturally beat them or naturally force select them, because you can always do better. Because that's the thing about skill. True skill is an input. It's an underlying input process. Right. So switching characters after game 1, that's a gimmick. It's designed to win, right? Switching characters after game 1, that's designed to win. It's designed to gimmick a win, and then you can use that win to determine that you're a better player, right? That's how it works. Well, look at the logic. It does not matter if you win. Winning is absolutely arbitrary. It's absolutely arbitrary to your skill, and skill is the only thing that matters. This is important. This needs to be addressed. And this is everyone's doing this. Every single player is doing this, but every single player is also not improving. You know, not happy with their gameplay. Truthfully, they're not happy with their gameplay. They're not improving. There's a list. There's a bad list, and there's a bad list. This is why I stopped resetting, actually, because think about it. I can't PB. I'm not confident that I can PB. Even if I got perfect RNG on a good run. I'm not confident I could PB. So if that's the case, then I mean, if you keep thinking about it, the end result, the obvious end result is that I need to do no reset runs. That's the obvious end result. In fact, it means that I can't reset. Ever. I don't think I'll ever reset again. Ever play any speed game. Feel free to screenshot that. Feel free to clip that. I'll clip it. If you guys don't want to, I'll clip it. 10 years from now, you can challenge me on that. I don't mind. It does not make sense to me to reset in any circumstance. Honestly, the only way I'd reset is power goes out, medical emergency. I don't know, what else? What else is there? If your power goes out, you have to reset. Technically, you do have to reset. It's like a... And actually, I wouldn't reset. I would finish the game, but if my TV went out, you know, like, okay, fine. Have I reset? Yeah, I've been resetting for 4 years. No, for 3 years. I've been resetting hardcore for 3 years. No, it's been 4 years. 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. 4 years. I've been resetting hardcore. And randomly, instantly I stopped randomly. Well, if I can do it, and you guys can improve it. You can improve instantly at Melee, Adam. Arbitrarily. If I can not reset, if I can go from resetting thousands of times to arbitrarily not resetting ever again, yeah, you can improve it. You can improve Melee instantly, dramatically and instantly. Why not? If I reset, hit the reset key on my splits. Actually, you know what? If I hit the reset key on my splits, I finish the game. And this is the problem. This is the problem with most people's definition of resetting. Because most people's definition of resetting would be some outlined definition, and then they would work around that definition. But for me, I need to play through the game naturally, in its natural element, in its natural environment. So, if that's the case, then how can I do that? Okay, well, I need to play the whole game. Okay, so I just need to play the whole game. That's pretty easy. Well, look at the effect of that. What's the effect of that? It's not resetting ever, under any circumstance. Okay, all right, that makes sense to me. No big deal. Not an issue. No. That's input. That's an input-based process that derives a correct output-based solution. Not that hard. I did it instantly over one night. Not that hard. But yeah, Adam. Again, I am. The thing about these questions is what is going to happen if you know. It's not meant for me to determine, and I don't think someone can randomly, dramatically improve overnight, without circumstances. Usually it's a 3 to 6 month process, you know. It's a 3 to 6 month process of learning the circumstances. Okay, and then it happens in one night. Oh, are you kidding me, dude? Look at that. Look at that, guys. But what happens if you just play completely naturally versus Quinn, for example, and you don't try at all? And that's what I'm arguing for. And I don't even think that's a good thing, but that's literally what my argument says. Is just play naturally, you know. If tryharding is part of your natural gameplay, then you win. Perfect. But I don't think it is. I highly doubt it is. It isn't for 99% of people. So you play naturally and you lose to him, and it's upsetting, but it doesn't matter. And now you get to learn. 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 Now he gets to learn. Now I get to learn. Now everybody in this community learns, and then you get better because they keep learning. Like that's a fact. That's how it works. But what's the alternative? Nobody tries to get good. Nobody tries to get good. Nobody gets good. And people keep using output-based gameplay. They keep determining whether they're better than someone based on results. You know, and I mean results in and out of the game. Oh, I went 0-2, another bad tournament. Irrelevant. Oh, I went 2-0. Oh, I nair shined him. I got the nair, nice. I got the nair. The nair connected, sweet. Cool. I connected the nair, therefore I can do it, right? That's an output. Output-based gameplay. I'll tell you some. If you watch my vlog series, I talk every time I go to a Smash tournament, I make a vlog afterwards. So if you watch my vlog series, you've already heard all this, but I'll reiterate. Because what are some natural solutions I found? Very low level. This is level 1 stuff. In order to beat Nikhil, Quinn, Sam, Thundrio, any Cheek, Dr. Mario. I mean, it's low level, but it starts branching out, right? Well, Nikhil is the easiest one. Nikhil's the easiest one because down air you can't crouch cancel for the most part. Almost all situations you can't crouch cancel down air. And I was getting bodied by crouch cancel. So I need a natural solution to not get bodied by crouch cancel. And I don't want to camp him. I don't want to try. I don't want to laser camp him. So I'm not going to do that. So let's think. Okay, well, I keep narrating him and he keeps crotch canceling. Okay, so what if I dare him, you know? If I dare him, you can't crotch cancel it. And I'm gonna do slightly better over the whole run. I'm gonna do slightly better. That's all. That's the whole argument. Okay. So I started doing that and I beat him 3 times in a row. Easily. 2-stocked him. And actually, I will say, it was not easy. The games got progressively easier. They were mix and match. Some were actually really hard. It wasn't easy. But for the sake of the argument, you know, I went from getting 3-stocked to him by beating them 3 times in a row, somewhat comfortably sometimes. Somewhat comfortably. So, and I'm not even I don't try. Do you dare shine? I always see you dare shine versus me. I don't know. It's just an example. If it's a wrong example, that's fine. Because I'm saying you probably do this thousands of different circumstances, thousands of different ways. So it's more of a template, you know, figure out what you are doing wrong. Yeah, exactly. You dare because they can't crotch cancel it. Okay, that's a natural solution. It's a very low level natural solution. But it's a natural solution. In fact, it's such a low level, I don't even think it's worth learning. But I mean, you know, I can't force myself to not learn it. That's what's brilliant about it. I pretty much have to learn it. I realized it. It just makes sense, so I just do it. It's completely natural. If he finds a counter to that, then now see, that's why I don't think it matters, because if he finds a counter to it, I'm fucked. But that's fine. If he finds a counter for it, I can learn counters. It's like how Kyle found a counter for my baiting him and exposing his gameplay. He actually found a counter to it. So that's fine. And I'm not really looking for a counter to his counter, because if I find a counter to his counter, he'll find a counter, right? So I need real natural gameplay. Real natural gameplay that ascends one situation. I don't know, what is it? Let's think. Like, now you can help me out. Like, what can I do to beat Kyle? Completely naturally. I mean, this conversation will improve you at Melee more than playing the game for 7 years. You can play for 7 years versus your friends. This single conversation, which takes 45 minutes, will improve you far more. You know? What can I do to beat Kyle? That's what's gonna beat me. What can I do that's natural to beat Kyle? That's gonna prove me way more than playing for years, mindlessly playing for years. You know, and I don't know, but I mean, I'll think of something. We'll think of something. If we don't, I'll think of something on my own, or randomly while playing them, I'll think of something. Or watching Melee, I'll think of something. You know, eventually, if I keep playing, I'll think of something. It's the same with this game. I'll think of something, and I'll get the record. Natural. It has to be natural though, but it has to be natural because everything's natural fundamentally. So it's like, okay, I'm just taking advantage of it. That's all I'm doing. The thing about natural gameplay is it's an input-based process as an input or as an output, which is the whole goal, which is very weird. Because this is really weird. You want to find an input so that you can get an output, and the output is input. Is an input, right? That's what the goal. That's the goal. How does that work? How does that make any sense? All right, it's very complicated. Well, natural gameplay is exactly that. So that's how it works. Nice hitting me. Because I don't know. I can't even explain it, but that's literally the process, and that's how it works. And it's pretty cool. And I think this is actually really good to think about, because people are like really afraid that, I'm not gonna, if I don't try hard every game, or if I don't force myself to pretend to try hard every game, because nobody actually does, I'm never gonna be good enough, right? I'm never gonna learn how to try hard. Well, they're using every game as an opportunity to try hard. Throw that out of the window. If you're in a good game, if you go into a tournament set that you care about, you're gonna try naturally. You're gonna try naturally. You don't have to worry about it. Like, so why do you have to force yourself to try in games you don't care about? If you don't care about the game, why would you try? You know, think about that. So why are people trying or pretending that you're trying in games they don't care about? Why are people forcing themselves to try? If you really care about it, you will try naturally. It won't be an issue. Oh, that's gonna block. I don't think this is gold, but actually it could be gold. I'm not gonna count on it though. Because mostly because it sucks. I'm playing pretty bad. You never know. Yeah, with the 2 cycles it's gold. And a hover. Two-cycle hover, no mistakes is gold. And I mean, I gotta keep reading myself here, guys, because I know a lot of you are forgetting. What does this all root back to? What does it root back to? It root back to the idea, what can you do? What do you feel confident you can actually do? What do you feel comfortable that you can actually do? You know, and the more honest you are, the better you are. The more honest with yourself, the more you improve. Okay, I'm gonna focus for this, but I got a really good point that's gonna blow your mind. Nice. My hands are so sweaty and I'm just playing perfectly. Oh, that would have been cool, but useless. Also useless, so it didn't matter. Oh, that's perfect. That's literally perfect. Holy fucking shit. It's running so good. You know what's interesting? I actually started that hover before I felt confident starting the hover. This is exactly why. This is exactly the natural gameplay process. That could have been gold, but I literally would have needed the hover and then the 2-cycle. It's pretty rare to get a 2-cycle. But I mean, how many gold Ganon's Towers have I done where I'm gold if I get a 2-cycle? It's like 20 or something at this point. You know, think about that. Well, it's gonna happen eventually. See, that's the thing. I almost had it. I wish I had gotten it. I would have had an opportunity for gold. Well, think about this. This is irrelevant. These are irrelevant factors. These have no bearing. This is it. This is how it bleeds into the brain. You know, good enough in my opinion. Do you know how going above Aghanim? That's the natural gameplay right there. And I learned that from Zelda. His gameplay is highly natural. So that's interesting. Completely natural, guys. This is natural gameplay in effect. This is it in effect. But yeah, the big thing about Melee that I've been pondering, and I'm like, I saw Shiz was doing this a lot. Actually, Shiz was doing this. And this is where I kind of got my idea from, and I'm gonna learn it soon. My gameplay's gonna blow up. If I start playing netplay, my game, which I might start soon, my gameplay's gonna blow up. I don't know. It might just be a ton of different complex things all working at the same time, like reading an opponent's habits, changing your habits to read their habits, cloaking your what you're trying to do. Like, I think what we do as noobs is because we see this opportunity, we want to read their role. So alright, okay, he's gonna roll here, so I'm gonna read it. Haha, I got him, right? Well, good player is gonna look at you and be like, well, obviously he's trying to read my role. I'm just not gonna roll, so okay, duh. So what Shiz is doing is pretending to read the role, or he's just dash dancing to do what you don't know what he's gonna do, right? Turns it into a rock paper scissors game. Like, you're trying to turn it into a rock paper scissors game. Because if it's a rock paper scissors game, you don't have to commit. And this is what I think. If it's a rock paper scissors game, you then don't have to commit, so you just don't commit, and then it's up to the opponent. It's up to the opponent to make a mistake, or it's up to either player to learn the opponent's habit, and then they can get their guaranteed punish, and eliminate their rock paper scissors, right? But what we're doing is we're just saying, okay, I need a solution to his one mistake, and then, you know, for example, I need a direct solution to... Brandon says he needs a direct solution to me comboing him. So Shine Out of Shield is a direct solution. So I need a direct solution to a Shine Out of Shield. Output based. It's all output based. I need a solution to a Shine Out of Shield. Okay, so I stop naring him, and I grab him, and I nair him from high. So now he needs... It's just a circle. You don't actually get better at the game. You just go in a circle. Where in speedrunning, you do get better at the game. I need a direct solution for not dying to Vitreous. Okay, come up with a strategy that's faster and more consistent. Even though I'm going in a circle, but my times get better. I'm still going in a circle, though. Everyone's going in a circle, but our times get better. In Melee, you don't really get better. You just go in a circle. Now, I think technically, mechanically, you sort of get better. But not really. I mean, I played Melee long enough to know that. I did get better mechanically when I made an effort to, but... different. A lot of that was metagame, practice hacks, bigger culture, more culture. I mean, you don't control that stuff. I'm actually going to turn this into a Melee learning stream. Because I have some questions that I want to answer myself. I have some questions, I want to answer them. Alright, it starts out, they're doing stuff. I honestly don't think it matters what they're doing. It's completely irrelevant. Because this is the argument. This is, everything they're doing is output. It doesn't matter. Everything they're doing is irrelevant. Just ignore it. Just things happen. Misses a grab, hits a back air, hits a nair, shield grab. None of this matters. It's all irrelevant. Can we pick up on their habits though? Can we find completely tangible things? Can we pick up completely tangible habits from them from this game? That's what I'm wondering. Let's think about it. Why are we looking for habits? Why are we looking for habits? I've never in my life cared about someone's habits in Melee. Why do I care right now? It's because I can guaranteed get natural punishes if I know their habits. So he jumps off the ledge because we're a high dare and he actually hits. So, and here's something that's interesting too. I never considered this. This hits, right? So is he more or less likely to do it again? That's such an important question. Is he more likely to do it again? Is he less likely to do it again? All of a sudden, is this? Why does he grab? More likely? Possibly. Sometimes I mix it up. Sometimes I'll do it. I'll do it once, and then I'll never do it again for the whole set, and then like I'll do it at the end. But yeah, I mean, maybe he is more likely. This is what I mean. This is literally how you tangibly become a better player than someone over very quickly, right? Because if you can really learn their habits and really learn their playstyle, you're going to meet other people in the world who basically have a very similar playstyle. And if you can actually get tangible reasons for beating them, consistent, tangible reasons, you'll never lose. You'll never lose completely naturally. And the thing is, you would pick up on so many habits. You don't have to punish him on that. He does the dare off the edge. You expect it. You just dash dance. I know he's going to dare. I don't care. I'm just dash dancing. Or maybe you jump into it. I know he's going to grab me afterwards. I don't care. I don't care. I can beat him at any point. I know all his habits. I know exactly what he's going to do. Why do I suddenly care about this? I've never cared about this. And think about this. This is deeper. This is actually input. This is learning the game, not through output. It's learning it through input. Doesn't matter that he did that. Doesn't matter if is that a good situation? Is that a smart move? Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Everything that happens in this match is output. It's completely irrelevant. You have no control over it. You'll never have control over it. Why would you try? Why would it matter? Right? But maybe if I can learn something about picking up an opponent's habits, if I can learn something about how opponents change their habits and why they do their habits, I might actually be able to improve as a player, and maybe I can find something tangible that I can apply to the gameplay and actually profit heavily over a very short amount of time, or maybe significantly over a long period of time. That's an input process. That's actually a preview of the game, and that's what we're doing right now. It's not output. This is not intangible output-based gameplay. This is random. Everything they're doing right now is completely random, and it's completely irrelevant for the players. In their mind, they both want to win. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if either one of them win, because they won't improve. If they win, they don't improve. If you actually improve more if you lose. If you lose, you improve more. You made more errors, they're more obvious, and you're upset, right? So you improve more if you lose. So the goal should be actually to lose. If you look at functionally what players profit from, the goal is actually to lose, not to win at all. So why aren't they trying to lose though? Why are they trying to win? It doesn't make sense. But they'll do it anyway. So he tries to grab, he gets a shine. This is interesting too. Immediately jumps after the shine. Why did Nichabod nair? Why did Nichabod nair here? If Nichabod knew that he was going to jump after a shine, it's a free kill. It's a guaranteed kill. This is something that's tangible and natural. If you're a smart enough player that knows he's going to jump, it's a free kill. You win. You now understand this match. This is how deeply. This is what Mango. What do you think Mango would have done here? Mango would have killed him instantly. Leffen would have killed him. PB would have killed him. On that mistake. On this mistake of jumping. Because it's such a noob move, right? This should be a dead character. But Nichabod doesn't understand that, and this is what happens if you think based on output. You never learn. You just go in a circle. This is roll. Classic read everybody's trying to do. And every time they do it, they're like, oh, I'm cool. It doesn't matter. What, you got to nair off that? You got to fair off this. This is the thing. How does Melee really work? Who profits from the scenario? They're tied. Neither one of them profit. They're both tied. Because he could actually make it. What if he messes up? What if Nichabod messes up? And then Falco actually profits and gets a kill off the mistake. I mean, so how do you actually win? If they get a fair on you as they're punished, you actually profit from that. And it goes back to neutral, so it's really an irrelevant scenario. Here's another habit. I never realized. This is interesting. Actually, it's really interesting. The full hop, double full hop. Oh, okay, now we're learning shit. See, now I'm learning shit. I don't know about you guys. I'm learning shit because look at this. No, it's done, dude. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. And this is what Kyle does. And guess what? Nicobot and Kyle, I'm sure they play each other a lot. This is game over. This full hop back air is designed to trap the opponent. This full hop back air, or full hop behind him, is designed to trap the Falco into a laser or an approach. The back air will eat it out and you get a punish, right? That's what the full hop is, right? This is the metagame. There's a second full hop. Because the second full hop also is designed to bait out Falco's counter approach. So you do the second full hop. Well, then the second full hop fails. Well, no. It doesn't fail. And this is why these players aren't good players. This is why here. Because this fails. This 2-level bait, level 2 bait, fails. And Falco is not aware of it. And it punishes it with the laser. What is Mango doing? What is Leffen doing? What is Armada doing? They're expecting the double level bait, and then they're expecting the opponent to go for it. Or no, you know what they're doing is they're expecting the double level bait, and they're wondering what's going to happen afterwards. Is the player going to do anything? Do they care? You know, and so if you can put yourself in a situation where you either are not punished and you don't punish them, or you get a punish, that's optimal. That's ideal, generally, right? That's ideal. But that's not happening. Falco's not doing that at all. Falco's putting himself in a situation where he gets a laser off of this obvious situation he could benefit from. So clearly, neither one of these players is better than each other. Very clearly. Like, maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe Nicobod is thinking more. Maybe he's thinking more and he'll adapt and he'll learn. You know, I don't know. We're only like what, 23 seconds in. But I don't think so because one, look, there's no SDI in this laser. Actually, it looks like it's SDI, but it's just the wrong. Look, this is why I don't think so. What are they doing? Clearly, he didn't even. Jizzard did not expect to get this laser. He didn't expect to get the laser because he lasers it again and then runs out. What are you doing, dude? This guy's a better player than me. He's a better player than me. This is how bad I am at this game, by the way. If anybody watching this thinks I'm good at this game, I have no idea how terrible at it. Well, how can you argue what I'm saying? Where's the argument, Joy? There's no arguments. He's gonna roll. I think he's gonna roll. See, this is interesting. I think he's gonna roll. Almost certainly, I think he's gonna roll. So what should Jizzard do? Let's say I'm Falco and I think he's gonna roll right here. What should I do here? Should I shine? If I shine, he gets the roll off. Should I run left? Should I dare left? Should I run left and expect the roll? How am I gonna punish the roll? Am I gonna punish the roll with a shine? Which I don't. The thing is, if I punish this roll with a shine, honestly, I'm not comfortable getting the shine because the window's kind of small. I can get it with a grab. I can get it with a grab or a dare. That's what I'm thinking. I'll use shine grab right here. Interesting. Because the truth of it, Nicobot's a better player than me. And I don't think I think in his brain he might not roll, right? How many times has he rolled this set? Well, part of the reason I think he's gonna roll is because he just rolled. But I mean, you know. And so you guys, he shine grab. Okay. He didn't roll. He didn't roll, and he got a shine grab. So you're right. Interesting. Why would he shine grab? I'm curious. You guys are way better than me. Like, I'm not gonna like lie. This Edgard is a travesty. What is the goal here? He's trying to hit a side B. He's trying to hit a side B. It's so stupid though. And I do this all the time. This is so stupid though because this is exactly what I'm learning is relevant. This is what's relevant. Jesus aggro, Nicobot just wants to hold shield. Tell you it's an opening. Everyone's afraid of rolling because they might get their roll ready. Yeah, okay. I was thinking that these players are above my skill level. And I mean this is the truth of it. Like this roll read I always go for. It's obviously a problem. But my argument this is Edgard. If you shine here, it's obvious you're going for a backer or a side B. It's obvious you're going for a side B, or it's obvious that you're they're a little aggro, right? And so Nikabod is Nikabod's gonna be. It's almost certain it's gonna be because yeah, exactly what I said. Deserves by aggro, and if he's shining, you're there. So why would what you do? Like if you jump down here, what you should do is come up with lasers. You should come up with lasers because this is what I'm thinking, right? And I don't know. I'm not very good at melee. I barely play it. But if you go down there, and this is like the level 1, you know. Your intention is to laser them. Your intention is to kill them with the side B. That's what kill their side B, right? That's what it looks like. So if you cloak that and then laser them, right? This is the read. This is the read. It gets free lasers. It's free damage. And it's not just free damage, but it puts it in an edge guard situation where instead now he doesn't know what to do, and this is just a train wreck. Actually, the thing is, I think you have to go for this because if they go towards you, you lose. So you kind of have to go for that, right? And he gets a backer off of it, which isn't too bad. This is actually something I never do. Running past it. But why are you S-smashing? That was a horrible idea. This is completely unnatural. This is unnatural. It's a random gimmick. Where do you profit? If you guess correctly, where do you profit? You don't profit. And actually, guys, I gotta say one more big thing about melee that no one realizes. Anxiety changes what you can do. What you think you can do, what you feel confident doing, anxiety changes up. Completely changes up. How did Mango get the Armada rest? How did Mango get the Armada rest, right? It's the stupidest roll ever, right? Low level read, but this is why low level stuffy works, because when you're under pressure, when their anxiety is on the table, everything you can do, feel comfortable, dude, completely changes. And I actually think you forget. You forget. You become a worse player. In a layman's terms, you become a worse player, but you forget what you're supposed to do. You forget what you're supposed to do. Parts of your brain stop working. So why is this important? Is because what can you do in under pressure, right? You can still get clutch rests. It's easy. If you get the read, it's a guaranteed rest. So if you're Mango, I don't feel like you can do this. I don't feel like you can do that. Suddenly this combo, this is off the table. Suddenly this edge guard, it's off the table, right? It's gone. But if he rolls, I can always rest him. It's just down B. It takes some effort. You know, you have to time it, but it's not a big deal. This is effectively what I'm saying. I think it's more dynamic than this. But if you guess, you lose no matter what. If you guess, you always lose. Even if you win, you always lose. If you don't guess, you can lose or you can win. So what's the obvious thing here? You just don't guess and then hope you win. That's how it works, right? And I don't think that's entirely true, because ultimately it becomes a rock paper scissors game where everything's guessing, and then winning and loses is completely random, right? But it's supposed to be random, because you can't determine whether you win or not. You don't actually have control over it. But nobody plays the game like that, so I don't think it'll ever happen. So it becomes this idea where, I don't know, it's interesting. There's more to it than that. Obviously, that's like not true. But there's more to it than that. But that's still interesting. But here's also an interesting thing too, because all these things I'm saying sounds good, sounds cool. This has to be natural. Like, you can't force any of this stuff. If you do, you lose. Another problem is if you try to force yourself to predict an opponent constantly, you tunnel in on one of their actions constantly, right? Where it's like, this is bad. And what you're able to do is also becomes really obvious and linear, and then they're gonna be like, okay, this guy only goes for reads. All I've learned from this is that if I played against Nikabod, I'd get bodied. That's all I learned. He's 2 or 3 steps ahead of me, pretty much everywhere. That's pretty much what I've learned. So.